Well, my favourite little girl, Chloe, my granddaughter, has asked me for a story. And so I'm going to tell her the story of the rainbow bird. Way back in the dream time, when all things were being made for the first time, and the newest thing in the world was people. Only one animal had fire, and that was the crocodile. And the crocodile, he had two magic fire sticks which, when he hit together, would form a lovely fire, and that fire kept the crocodile warm during the cold Australian nights. Of course, other animals wanted fire. The kangaroo came and said, old man crocodile, please, will you give me some fire so I can keep myself warm at night just like you? But the crocodile said,
no, go away. You can't have any fire. The fire's all mine. Hop off.
And so the kangaroo did. And the koala, she came down out of the eucalyptus tree with her little baby clinging to her. And she said, old man crocodile, please, can I have some fire? It is so cold at night, and I fear that my little baby will shiver through every night and catch a terrible cold. Can I have some fire, please? But the crocodile said,
no, you can't have any fire. Go away. Don't care about you. Don't care about your baby.
But living near to the crocodile, up in a tree, was a bird. A little, tiny, teeny, skinny, scrawny, bony little bird with dull, boring grey feathers. And she flew down and she hovered over the crocodile and said, old man crocodile, please, can I have some fire? For I eat fish, and I have to eat my fish raw. Can I have some fire so I can cook my fish? And the crocodile said,
no, you can't have it. I don't care if you eat raw fish. Go away.
But the bird stayed and she hovered a little longer. And she said, well, if you won't give me fire, what about those new creatures that have just appeared in the world? What do they call themselves? People. If you won't give me fire, will you give people fire? They have no fur to keep them warm at night. They have no feathers to keep in the heat. Give people fire. And the crocodile said,
well, if they're so silly that they don't grow fur, if they're so daft that they can't grow feathers, they can just freeze. Go away.
So the bird flew back into her tree, but she watched and she waited. She waited and she watched. And one morning, when the crocodile had just had his breakfast and closed his eyes and gave a great big yawn, and down came the bird. And it swooped up the two magic fire sticks and flew up high into the sky. Well, the crocodile ran after, calling,
give them back, they're mine.
But the bird shouted, no, you can't have them. And the bird took the two magic fire sticks and she flew to every animal in Australia, and that night gave them a little fire to keep them warm. And when she'd been to every animal in Australia, then she flew to the trees. And in the trees she put a little bit, not too much, just enough of the fire magic, so that when people came and sharpened the stick and put that stick on a flat piece of wood, if they worked hard, rotating the stick, there'd be a little wisp of smoke appear. And if they worked harder, there'd be a red hot ember, which they could pour out onto dried grass and make fire. Because the bird had put some of the fire magic into the trees. so the wood would burn. Now when she'd flown to every animal in Australia, when she'd put the fire magic in every tree in Australia, then she flew up higher, higher and higher and higher, higher than she'd ever flown before. She flew till her wings ached and she could not beat them any longer. And she threw the 2 fire sticks high into the air, where they crashed together and formed an enormous circle. And the bird flew through that circle of fire, and the fire went out. And no longer was she thin, bony, skinny, scrawny. Now she was plump and beautiful. No longer were her feathers dull, boring and grey. Now they were red and orange and yellow and green and blue and indigo and violet, all the colours of the rainbow. And so the bird became known as the rainbow bird. And when the first shoot of a tree pushes its way up through the earth, the rainbow bird flies down and puts a little bit of the fire magic, just enough, so that when that tree grew, the wood would burn. So that's my story for Chloe today.